All right, today we're diving into the story of 3I/Atlas. And this thing, well, it's a mysterious visitor that's basically rewriting all the rules of our cosmic neighborhood. I mean, just think about it for a second. What if you looked up and realized something truly alien, something not born of our sun, was just passing through? What kind of secrets would it be carrying? What questions would that force us to ask ourselves? Well, guess what? This isn't some sci-fi thought experiment. It actually happened. And this visitor, wow, it's turning out to be one of the most puzzling things astronomers have ever encountered. Okay, so where did this whole story even begin? Let's go back and track the very first mysterious breadcrumbs this traveler left for us from the void. So check out this timeline. It was officially spotted on July 1st by the Atlas telescope, right? But get this. Scientists went back and found these faint traces of it in archives from a month earlier, back in June. And from there, things started moving fast. By August, the James Webb telescope was already getting its first look, running a chemical analysis. And then October, that was showtime. That's when it got closest to the sun, and believe me, everyone was watching. Now you might be asking, what's the big deal? Well, what makes 3I/Atlas so incredibly special is that it's only the third interstellar object we've ever confirmed. You know, everything in our solar system is kind of stuck here in these closed elliptical orbits. But these visitors, they're just tourists. They are on a one-way trip. They come screaming in on this wild hyperbolic path, whip around the sun, and then they're gone, right back out into deep space, never to return. And one of the biggest giveaways that it's not from around here, it's speed. I mean, it is just incredible. It was clocked at roughly 245,000 kilometers per hour. To put that into perspective, that's fast enough to get from New York to Los Angeles in about 1 minute. It's moving way too quickly for our sun's gravity to ever have a chance of capturing it. And we're not just talking about some random rock. Based on its trajectory, scientists think it came from our galaxy's thick disk. You can think of that as this kind of diffuse halo of really old stars that surround the main part of the galaxy. So what does that mean? It means this thing is an ancient relic. It's potentially billions of years older than our own 4.6 billion-year-old solar system. But its age and where it came from? That's just the start of the puzzle. This visitor isn't just from far away. It's behaving in ways that have scientists totally scratching their heads. Okay, this is where it gets really strange. Look at this comparison. 3I/Atlas just seems to break all the rules. A typical comet from our solar system is basically a dirty snowball made of water ice. But Atlas, it's dominated by carbon dioxide ice. And stranger still, Hubble images showed its main plume of dust wasn't pointing away from the sun like a normal comet tail. No, it was pointing towards the sun. And to top it all off, it woke up and became active way out past Jupiter's orbit, which is much earlier than we'd ever expect. Now, with all this weird behavior, you can bet people started talking. Speculation was running wild, especially when the images started to circulate. We saw photos from amateur astronomers, and this is incredible, even raw images from the Perseverance rover on Mars, and they didn't seem to show a fuzzy ball. They looked like a distinct, glowing, cylindrical object moving across the sky. Okay, now before we jump to any wild conclusions, the mainstream scientific consensus is that this strange shape is probably just a trick of the camera. It's what's called a photographic artifact. When you take a long exposure photo of something that's very bright and moving very fast, it can stretch the light out, creating an elongated smear that looks a lot like a cylinder. So, if it's not behaving like a normal comet, what is it? All this strange data has pushed the scientific community into two really fascinating and very different camps. All right, the first theory is, well, it's pretty revolutionary. It might solve one of the biggest puzzles in planetary science. How do planets even get started? See, tiny dust grains in a young star system tend to just shatter when they collide, not grow. But this theory suggests that an interstellar object like 3I/Atlas, already fairly large, can wander into a new system and act as a ready-made seed. It kickstarts the whole planet-building process. These visitors might be essential for creating new worlds. But there's another, more provocative possibility. As NASA planetary scientist Dr. Saunders put it, this object is offering us messages beyond our imagination. And, well, some scientists are taking that idea very literally. And this chart right here just brilliantly illustrates the central debate. For every strange observation, there are at least two interpretations. Is its perfect trajectory just a cosmic coincidence or a planned maneuver? Is its high nickel and CO2 content a sign of its unique birthplace, or could it be a metallic alloy? And maybe the most bizarre one of all, was the reported brief stop over Mars just a data glitch, or was a deliberate pause for observation? To try and solve the riddle of 3I/Atlas, humanity launched an unprecedented investigation. We pointed a whole fleet of our most powerful instruments at this interstellar enigma. And I mean, this was a massive, coordinated effort. We had the heavy hitters, Webb and Hubble, but what made this truly special was the interplanetary angle. We repurposed our fleet of spacecraft at Mars, orbiters, and even the Perseverance rover on the surface to get a front row seat. How cool is that? The early data from the James Webb Space Telescope was just stunning. It confirmed the comet's coma, that's the fuzzy cloud around its core, was overwhelmingly made of carbon dioxide. We're talking 80%? This chemical fingerprint is completely unlike any comet native to our solar system. It suggests it formed in a very different and likely much, much colder environment. The absolute highlight of the whole campaign was October 3rd. As 3I/Atlas made its closest pass by Mars, ESA's ExoMars and Mars Express orbiters actually turned their cameras away from the red planet and pointed them towards deep space. For that one moment, our planetary science missions became missions of interstellar discovery. But even as we were gathering all this amazing data, 3I/Atlas was already heading away, beginning its long journey back into the void. So what's the verdict? And what happens now? Well, the first thing to understand is that our chance to study this particular object is over. It's on an escape trajectory. Once it's gone, it is gone forever. The data we've collected right now is all we will ever have. But the legacy of visitors like this is already shaping the future. The European Space Agency is developing something called the Comet Interceptor. It's a rapid response mission. The plan is to launch it, put it in a stable parking orbit, and just have it wait. The next time an object like this is detected, the interceptor can be sent on a chase to study it up close. We're getting ready for the next one. In the end, 3I/Atlas leaves us with so many more questions than answers. Was it a natural relic from the dawn of another star system? A cosmic seed that helps build new worlds? Or was it something else entirely? As it fades back into the darkness between the stars, we're just left to wonder about the secrets it's taking with it.